Checking back in with Quincy City Council President, Councilor at Large Noel DeBona for an update on last night's City Council meeting. Hey, Noel, twice in 2 weeks.
Yes, good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me on this morning. We got to get my steps in. So it was raining very hard last night, and we had some drizzle a little earlier, but I'm kind of catching it in the middle here. So good morning. Yes, we have back-to-back weeks.
Yes, every time I talk to you like this, I feel like I've done my morning workout. So
I haven't been under 10,000 steps in about 60 days. So I got to stay over that 10,000 steps.
That's right. Well, we'll keep you talking along the
Thank
way.
you.
Well, why don't we start with some good news? The Quincy Climate Action Network came in last night, huh?
Yeah, QCAN came in, and they've done a great job over the last 10 years. It was their 10-year anniversary. And we had, we just gave them a little recognition last night over at the council meeting. So I appreciate them coming in. We were going to come in back in the spring, but unfortunately we had some COVID cases, and we finally got them in here. So it's great. It's great to see them. Congratulations to all of them. Thank you for all their activism work throughout the city of Quincy and what they do with solar energy.
Very good. All right, move on to the agenda now. I see we have an ordinance, a resolve, and a gift.
Yes, the ordinance change is going to be, Councilor Phelan brought that in. And what it really is the rezoning of the MBTA yard, the bus yard that's right next to the Veterans Memorial Stadium. And what that was at 954 Hancock Street. The MBTA owns that land, looking to rezone it from a resident D, Res D, into open space. Now, under Res D, the reason why we're trying, or Councilor Phelan's trying to do this from the ordinance committee, is right now they can put up a 20-story building. We almost have little to say about it. We rezone it, we put it into open space, and it allows a lot of other things to happen there. As you know, as a city gets more developed, we want to keep or actually create extra more open space and parks and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll put that into ordinance and we'll have more discussion on it. I think it's a good thing. Absolutely.
It's a good thing. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's something that, development. And I hear it all across the city all the time, but you have to put them in the right areas of the city. If we have an area that's right next door to it, which is the Veterans Memorial Stadium, which is a recreation center area for games. And then we also have the Barry Welch soccer field, which is right next door to it. And then we get Adams Field. We could kind of continue on allowing that in the middle of the city for our recreation, for our open space, for our parks. So I think it's a great thing.
Okay. Was it brought up as to how big that property is, Noel? Do we know?
It's quite a bit, and it goes down to the new stationary where the Doughboy is.
Yep.
There's some storefronts there, and there's also some commercial. I think there's I want to say a Century 21 or a real estate office right there. But it goes towards that area and it abuts the Veterans Memorial Stadium. So, it's something that was in the works when the MBTA took over the old Lowe's site, and we just had it, and I think it's time. Definitely.
Okay. And that went into committee, you said?
It went into ordinance committee. We'll have more discussions about it in the future. Looking forward to it.
And then Councilor Palmucci's resolve regarding city workers' salaries.
Yes, it's a compensation review, and it's got to go to the administration or to the mayor. It's a resolve, obviously, but you're going to lose some folks. You're going to lose some good people to private sector. And you just can't sometimes compete with private sector, obviously, funding wise, to get these positions, but you can at least get somewhere close to it. Perfect example is we just lost our tree warden. And I'll be honest with you, Chris Hayward was phenomenal. The experience that he took from, I think he believed he was in Watertown previously. I mean, I had so many emails and phone calls and people telling me, we're going to really miss Chris. He's been a great asset to the city. We established the tree warden position some years ago. I want to say like 3 to 4 years ago. And he's done a fantastic job. I actually miss him today because he would get back to me right away and we'd go work on and look at trees across the city, keeping the ones that are still kind of healthy but taking down the ones that are in bad shape. So he's always been a great help for us. So natural resources, we always miss him right now. And he's a perfect example of, he went somewhere that I think it was $20,000 to $30,000 more. So it was a huge jump. He has children, he has a family. So we obviously know that. So we can't lose people like him. So we're looking to do a review. It's going to go into the hands of the administration. They'll do a review somehow or another. So,
Okay, so the resolve was approved.
excuse me. Oh, it was approved unanimously by 8-0 vote last night. And it'll go to the mayor and the administration, and they'll either act on it or not.
Okay, very good. And I see a generous gift to the DARE program again.
Yes, it's been great. We appreciate everybody that's doing. I believe the two donors were Slager's Towing and Nichols Landscape. So thank you so much to those two donors. It really helps out with our DARE programs.
Very good. That's all that was on the agenda. Anything else that came up?
Something else did come up, and I will definitely elaborate on it a little bit, is possibly Brian Palmucci's Ward 4 seat. Just to elaborate a little bit on it, because I did get some information from Madam Clerk, Nicole Crispo, is, he's been nominated for the judgeship. He's got to go through the governor's council, obviously, in the next week or two. If he is continued with that and it's on, and he goes into the judgeship, he cannot be an elected official anymore. So what it means is, if you're in your first half of your 24 months, because everybody on the city council is under a 24-month, 2-year position. If you're under your 12 months, which is 12 months up to December 31st, it will go into a special election. Since he's nominated, obviously, by Governor Baker, he'd have to be leaving in the first 12 months here, because Governor Baker's going to be leaving to be in the governor. So it'll happen in the front end of this, which will spark a special election. In the special election, I believe he'll have to resign. And once he resigns, I believe it's like a 110 cycle, 110 days out. They got to get nomination papers. Possibly the timeline, let's just say it's October, the middle of October. The timeline would be like January, in the middle of January, for possible preliminary or a primary if there's more than 2 people in the election. So let's say it's 3 or 4 people. And then they would knock it down and then have another election for the final special election in mid-February. So that's where kind of the timeline is. I didn't speak about it last night too much. I allowed Council Palmucci to talk about what he needed to talk about. And then Madam Clerk talked about what she had for what it is. But under what I have talked about with her and understand is, that's pretty much how it's going to shake out, I guess I could say.
Okay, all right. And then, as I understand, the person, if there is a special election, and that the winner of that special election would then be able to run for the full 2-year term.
No, that person would be running for the remainder of the term. So,
okay.
Councilor Palmucci's term will end on December 31st of 2023.
Okay.
So they would fill the remainder of the term. So let's just say it goes to February and the person wins. They would be running, they would be filling the seat from let's say February 15th, let's say the middle, February 15th to the end of the year. So they'd have to rerun for the regular seat, which is a 2-year term.
Okay, yeah, they could do that, right? They could rerun.
Yes, they could do that. Yes.
Okay.
That's how it looks to be shaping out. We'll have more information as time goes along, but I know folks have been kind of asking and thinking about it, but it just happened just recently. And I wish Councilor Palmucci the best. He's been a fantastic counselor. He's in his 13th year. He's done 12 and a half years in the council, and he deserves it. He's done a great job.
Very good. And when is your next council meeting, Noel?
We will be convening on October 3rd. It's a Monday. So we'll be going October 3rd and then October 17th. So 2 weeks.
Excellent. Okay. Anything else we should let folks know about right now?
That's it. I appreciate Joe so much. I thank you for having these talks on the phone and doing the steps. So appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, how many are you up to now?
Let's see where we're at. 2,067 steps.
Okay. I'm exhausted just watching you, Noel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you. Take care.